For my 302 digital artifact, I will be reusing the characters Nicholas and Nicholas in Yellow from previous subject BCM 112 in a new podcast project I am calling Nicky Likes Bees, where Nicholas in Yellow, going by Nicky now, follows a hive of bees as they buzz around collecting honey, running errands for their queen, and going on little adventures. I will not be following real bees, but instead following a script and adding bee sounds in post. This project will focus on escapism and detaching from reality into a world of simply following bees. An analogous artifact that inspired this project is Welcome to Night Vale, a narrative-driven podcast that follows a paranormally active town from the perspective of a radio station. This podcast is dry in delivery, but the content is fascinating and entertaining, and it has an abundance of interesting characters. This project will be updated every second week, as once a fortnight, Nicholas and Nicholas in Yellow will be interrupted by a mystical escape room scenario, where the two are trapped in a room with a set of instructions, and aren't able to leave the room until they have fulfilled those instructions. This element of my DA takes inspiration from a project I did in BCM 216, where Nicholas and Nicholas in Yellow are split into two separate mediums, audio and visual, and must work together to reconnect and escape the room. This second project will be called Nick and Nicky Escape. Analogous artifacts that relate to this element of the project are the many escape room shows that exist on the internet, but in particular, College Humor's Escape the Green Room, although my escape rooms will be based in an abstract and nonsensical logic that will be scripted. Nicky Likes Bees will hopefully be uploaded to Spotify, if not to YouTube on my channel, with a fun illustrated thumbnail. Nick and Nicky Escape will be uploaded to YouTube as well. I am doing two projects for 4 reasons. Firstly, working with Nicholas and Nicholas in Yellow can get difficult and boring, so I've decided to separate the two and let Nicholas in Yellow shine in his own solo project. Secondly, I've wanted to make a bee mockumentary with Nicholas in Yellow for a few years. As referenced in this
I'm
video.
actually more of a bee guy, if I'm honest. In fact, I've got this...
Thirdly, I have a short attention span and tend to get bored of projects when they're episodic like this. So jumping between 2 subjects will hopefully help me to focus on each one every week and get it done. Finally, DAs are meant to be adjacent possible, and by literally having to escape from an escape room so that you can escape to the Bee podcast is very meta and DA of me, and will garner a niche audience. Speaking of audience and purpose, this project is made as a form of escapism, in form, plot, and structure. It is a metaphor for university and how life-consuming it can become, despite its purpose being to help students follow the career that they want to. Nicky wants to make a bee podcast with a whimsical, adventurous aesthetic, but he is forced to think creatively and work with his counterpart, Nick, to create creative content. But because of this, I believe that this project will be great for people in university hoping to follow their career but struggling to finish their studies as a form of escapism, but also as something to relate to. The personal purpose of this project is that I will be able to work on my screenwriting skills and narrative structure, as well as being able to branch into audio-based content, which I have wanted to do for quite some time.